Hello. Um, I'm going to be teaching you all how to make a plant bottle. It's pretty simple and easy. So the beginning steps are you get a clear, well, it doesn't have to be clear, but preferably if you want to see like the root system, how that's growing or whatnot, it would be best to get a clear bottle. Any size, depends on what type of space that you have that you're going to put it in. This is a liter sized bottle, which is what I'm going to use because I think it's not too big, it's not too small. So what you start off doing is, what's going to happen is you're going to separate the bottle into two. This top half will be basically like this portion will be where the plant will grow out of, and this bottom part would be kind of like the basin or like the little part that goes under that kind of collects all the water that kind of seeps right down. And also serves as a way for the plant to reabsorb that water once it comes out, if you don't get around to watering it every day or what you have to do. So first you take the screw, the cap off, and I'll tell you what to do with that later. And then you're going to think about how long you want this to be. You can have a very short one or you can have a very tall one so you can see how the roots really grow down. I'm going to make one that's kind of tall, and then I'll show you what we do. So you take the X-Acto knife, and it's like rule of thumb. You could just look at it and think of how long you want that to be. I don't want it to be very long, but I don't want it to be kind of wobbly. So I'm going to make it about this long, which is probably about, I would say, 3 to 4 inches up. This is for a liter sized bottle. So then you just go ahead and puncture that in with your X-Acto knife, and then just go right around in a complete circle. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, because if you feel the need to, you can always fix it later. And if you don't have an X-Acto knife, scissors work just as fine. Great. So now we have our two parts, the bottom half and the top half, and see how that just perfectly goes in right like that. And actually what I'm going to have to end up doing is cutting it a little bit more. So as you can see, this top part is not exactly like the bottom. In order for the water to really get absorbed up, it needs to be as far down as possible. Okay, now I've trimmed it slightly, and I know we're supposedly trying to use all of the plastic, but I only have like a few shreddings left, which I will put in the recycling bin. But here's what we have left, and now you can see that it fits perfectly down right there, so that way when the water seeps down, it will be able to reabsorb it. The next step is that just to make sure that this is held in place, we're going to tape it. So I just got some regular packaging tape, and again, clear. That way, you can see everything. So make sure that it is perfectly lined up. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you don't really want one that's kind of like sitting like this, because then again, it won't absorb the water, although it looks kind of cool. So line that up straight and make sure, maybe put a little pressure on it so you know that it's like touching the bottom part, and then just get that tape on there and wrap it around. And there we have it, quick and simple. All right, and kind of towards the last step is you need to put some dirt in here. So I just have some dirt that I have laid out. And like I said, the optional part, which for the rocks, some people put those at the bottom, but I don't. But I still put them in there just to kind of put them in different layers. So put some in and then add some dirt. You don't want to really pack it down. You can make it kind of loose. It's cool. So I'm going to use some marigold seed mix. You can use whatever you want. I know nowadays it's pretty trendy to have your own herb garden with mint, thyme, oregano like that. So let's go ahead and add a little bit of that in there. And then press that in. And then add some water. And well, I didn't put a lot of water, so it didn't exactly seep through down to the bottom, but typically it will, depending on how much water you add. And then after that, that's pretty much it, and you just wait for it to grow.